Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the...
It's movie night with Bill and Lel. With special guest Rob Loves Horror 93.
No, no, please don't hurt me. I'm not the one that you want. I swear I'll help you.
Oh my God. Is that Rob? It's me, Billy. You know, from Pilates.
Yeah, hey, it's been a while. How you been?
It's been tough. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, obviously.
Where is he? How long does it take for one person? Hey Siri, call dumbass.
Hold on. Hey, you'll never believe who I was about to stab.
I don't care if it's Drew Barrymore herself. I've been sitting in this car for hours. Get it done already. Let's go.
Okay, come on, calm your tits. It's Rob, you know, the glamour dancer.
Oh, I love Rob. Don't off him. He has such a cute butt.
Who are you talking to?
It's Lilith. You know, the one that dances like she has cerebral palsy. Oh, she's also the other ghost face.
Billy, don't tell him my name. Okay, screw it, off him. Such a waste of a cute butt.
You got it, boss.
No, no, please wait.
All right. Well, are you guys about ready?
I can't see you.
Because
Motherfucker.
this is where he's the most doofiest. I have to.
Lilith, let me just tell you.
Did you know this?
No, I did not. We've been sitting here the whole time with him with the camera off, and I said, I can't see you. And he goes, I said, is that on purpose? He goes, oh, that's definitely on purpose.
Oh my God, I hate you.
If I start waving back, it's because I'm in character.
Otherwise, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna take and get up.
Yeah, we're all good. We all good.
So I have my handy dandy vacuum cleaner. I have. Just kidding.
This motherfucker.
Don't bother me while I'm cleaning my room.
You keep that vacuum cleaner where it is.
I love how I did my hair. It's seriously just like his in the movie.
I love it. I'm dead. The backpack. I thought you were wearing like a gun holster.
Nope, he has
You're a hot mess and a half,
a little backpack. He has his little star, his little name badge.
Let me tell you something. I'm addicted to these Henley shirts. Oh my god.
They look good.
I love them. I only
I like
have
the
two
pattern.
anymore.
They would look better by my bed. I didn't even drink a drop yet.
Y'all hot mess.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, ready too.
Hi everybody, you're here with Luke Duke, Bo Duke, and Daisy Duke, and we're going to talk about... I'm sorry. We're going to talk about Scream 3. So...
Oh, baby.
So one of the first things that of the movie is Cotton Weary driving down, and honest to God, I thought he was flirting with the chick, saying, "So, are you 100% Cotton fan?" So I'm like, man, how would I use my name in like a flirtatious way? Like, all right, I'm Billy. Do you want the D? Like how would I do it? Like, do you guys do anything with your names? Anything flirtatiously?
Not that I'm aware of. I've never used my name in a pickup line, at least.
No. It's hard for me to use mine unless, it's hey, what's your name? And then they're like, they ask me mine, and I'm like, oh, I'm Rob, and I'll rob you of that heart if you give me 10 minutes of your time.
Oh, that's really good.
See, Rob has a good one. I don't think there's really any good ones with Lilith, okay?
I can't think of one. I'm trying to think of one. Like rob is easy. Let me rob
Hey,
that dick. You know.
I gotta ask you guys a question.
Go ahead.
Do you remember FM radio?
Oh,
Doesn't my voice sound like FM radio?
I love you so much.
Next up,
You're such a hot mess. You're
Next
such a
up.
hot mess.
movie night with Bill and Lou, with special guest Rob Loves Horror 93.
Rob Loves Horror 93. Hey everybody, I'm Special Officer Doofy. Like,
And I am Lilith DeVille. And yes, this is our doofus.
this is our doofus. Well, I had to do it for this episode because Officer Dewey in this movie is probably at peak dumbness, if you ask me.
Okay.
And the thing is I rewatched this movie again today. The swagger on this guy is unbelievable because it feels unearned. It's kind of like when you're just hanging out at school and then this kid walks up who looks like he's depressed all the time saying, "You should smile more." What the fuck, motherfucker? Like, I should smile more? Suicide-y over there? What the fuck? Like, no, the Dewey over here is like, "Hey, Gail, be cool." And it was like, what? No. You're telling Gail Weathers to be, like, get your ass, go away. So that's why I'm looking like this.
Okay.
I love it.
I got
I'm
you.
ready.
I got you.
Oh, shit. You know what I realized? So, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We did a whole 3 to 4 hour episode of Scream 3. I know. How could we talk about Scream for 3 to 4 hours? We somehow did it. We're redoing it again, trying to make this shorter. But Rob and Lil had all their stuff listed out, so I kind of feel like an asshole showing off everything I have. But that should tell you guys I'm more of a Scream fan. In fact, Matthew Lillard loves this hat. It's Ghostface saying "Zoinks." Zoinks!
Oh my god.
It's a really
That's
good hat.
amazing.
I love this hat.
But yes, yeah, Cotton Weary, not one that we are going to miss by any means.
So,
No, and I think that opening scene is the weakest in the entire franchise.
there's a couple of points that I definitely want to go after. Let's go through your guys' points first, though. Lil, what are some of your points about Cotton you want to talk about?
Cotton himself, I think the reason that they used Cotton as the opening kill, because he was a franchise kill, essentially. He was in the first 2 films. He was, if not, even though he wasn't like a main story-driven, but he was a main part of the story. It was just that he was an effective kill for the first one, so I get why they picked him. But at the same time, I do agree it is the least effective opening in the franchise. Though I guess they just threw it in as a franchise kill just for like the shock factor of it all. But literally not going to be missed in any sense of the word.
Yeah, do you guys know, too, that Charisma Carpenter, who plays Cordelia in both Buffy and Angel, was supposed to play Cotton Weary's girlfriend?
I did
No
not
idea.
know that.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah.
That's
I
really
thought
cool.
I would have liked that better than Blondie, whatever her name is.
I know, right? I will say, when I first saw this movie, I loved the black lace lingerie she got put on after she got out of the shower, and I was like, this is all I want to be when I grow up.
Right. Right. I mean,
And-
she's a beautiful girl, but, like,
Yeah,
that
it's
scene is
not-
just terrible.
yeah.
Her scene is just bad.
You know, I mean, it goes into the thing whether you like the voice changer aspect or do you like the traditional ghost face. And I think that's where there's a couple things that you lose people with this film. You lose them with the voice changer, and then you lose them with the high comedy aspect. And I get that. I get it completely. I thoroughly enjoy it. I think it adds something different with remaining in the same genre. But that's just me. I know I'm in the minority. What do you guys think? I like just with the opening itself. I think I will agree with you guys that it's kind of like the weakest.
Rob,
in the
go
franchise.
ahead and get started, because once I get started, I'm not going to stop.
I will say that dude who does cotton wearing, Liv, whatever his name is, he's good. The opening scene, in my opinion, is not my favorite. There's so many other ones in the franchise that are so much better. It's not disturbing. It's not gory. It's just very blah.
So
I noticed that. Go ahead, Billy.
I really, on the point of it's not gory, when he stabs Cotton, there's blood that gets on the mask. And with how white that mask was compared to the redness of the blood, I was like, wow, that was kind of neat, you know? I didn't expect something like that to be in the Scream 3. Like, when I go to Scream 3, I have really, really low expectations. And I was like, okay, that was a decent camera angle. I don't know if it was on purpose or by accident, because they shot this scene several times. In fact, there was a scrapped opening scene because they filmed at two different locations, and you could tell that this was filmed at a different time. Not to mention, if you got the bonus features for the DVD, you can make your own intro. So it should tell you how many times they filmed it, how many times they tried to do something else with it, and how this was not working.
I got you.
But me and Rob were talking. I was like trying to find the bonus feature thing because I wanted to show him. I
remember that. I remember when the movie first came out, there was an option on the DVD to where you could switch up the beginning. And, like, you could change the fate of the beginning. And it was, like, kind of like a mini game within the movie kind of thing. I remember that.
I feel like it doesn't work, though.
Well, there's a video out there. I need to go and watch it. But Freddie Prinze Jr. was apparently supposed to be the opening kill.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, and I'd much rather see that because
I mean,
this kill
kind of horror legacy at this point, so that would have been cool.
Well, this kill, like, for me, has a lot of questions. Number one, why Cotton?
I think it's just showing desperation at this point. He has no idea where Sydney, or he or she at this point, doesn't know where Sydney is.
That's fair. But why would Cotton know? They went on one talk show. That's it. But you find out later Roman, the spoiler alert, is the killer.
Yeah,
has Dewey in his back pocket as the guide for the new Stab movie. Why didn't he go after Dewey first to find Sydney?
I'll agree with that.
That's true. It's true, and I'll bring something up else later that comes in a little bit later with that. But I'll agree with that. Though I know I'm being harsh on this film, but I do love this one. I do love this entry. But there is some points where you can see where it's like it's definitely different from the others in the franchise.
I'm definitely trying to liven up from last time. Last time I was a wreck. I went hard on this movie. And the thing is I didn't hate this movie at all. In fact, I would say I would rewatch these movies and have a good time with all of it. When you start breaking this movie down by logistics, that's where I get lost. And but the thing is I watched this movie so many times within this past week that I'm like, it's hard not to think of the logistics. It's rough. And I think my issue is how much they're feeding the audience compared to how much they're trying to get to, like, the reasonings why behind the motives and shit. So why was Maureen Prescott's, like, her picture of her being a star, what was it called, where you hand out photos at shoots?
Not publicity photos.
Headshots.
There we go.
Why?
I wanted to say snapshot.
Why was her headshot at the crime scene and not anything about Sydney and blood or like anything like? There's definitely a target, and you know who the target is, but they're doing that in a roundabout way. Why? It's for our benefit. It's foreshadowing that Maureen Prescott is a huge player in this, and we need to find out why. But the thing is why are we more of the detectives than anything that Kincaid does in this whole freaking movie? And the thing is you're doing
kind of a useless character. I mean, everybody else is solving the mystery while he's just running around being a little Hollywood cop.
I know. It just bothers me, and it's like I love Easter eggs. I love being fed lore when it makes sense, but I hate when they do it in a way where it's just audience benefit instead of like making it make sense, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
I got you.
And back to what you were saying about the blood on the mask in the opening scene. It's funny you say that because there is less blood in this movie due to the violence that took place at Columbine.
If we're going to talk about that, it changed the entire script of this movie.
There is only 10 gallons of blood used in this film, whereas Scream 1 uses 50 gallons of blood, and the second one uses 30.
So, one of my favorite movie reviewers, Jeremy Johns, described this movie as a PG-13 movie disguised in an R rating.
Yes, that's correct. I would agree with that 100%.
I mean, honestly, I don't see anything in this movie that pushes it past PG-13.
I believe it's just the language. That's the only barrier they broke.
If you have more than if you hit 2 F-bombs, that's an automatic rated R.
Yep.
You can only have 1 F-bomb, and then it's on automatic rated R.
There's no nudity. There's not that much gore. That's what I hate. A lot of one of my favorite scenes in this movie, it cuts because if they would show the knife coming out or any more gore, they definitely would have been pushing it, to say the least. On top of that, the music for this movie, so when Cotton's girl was getting stabbed and the violins and the orchestra, I loved it so much. I
love the score in this movie. It's so good.
The first 3 movies of Scream, I'm just going to say this now, is a vibe. The lighting of this movie, the way everything goes. The only thing that kind of feels different is character and dialogue, and definitely the mystery. And the main reason why that is Kevin Williamson went on to do other projects because you got a choice. Sidney Prescott comes back in with Nev Campbell and we do this movie, or we hold out with Kevin Williamson and he does his own movie with his own script. And they're like, we need Sidney back. We need to get this going. Kevin gave I think 30-page, here you go, do what you can with this, and I'm leaving, see ya. And they basically took that, chucked it out the window, along with Matthew Lillard coming back as Stu, and so many other, extra things that would have been fun for this movie.
Well, here's the thing with this film, too, is that they had a very limited time to shoot this, because Nev Campbell was only available for 20 days of shooting, and Patrick Dempsey was hired the day of shooting to play Detective Kincaid.
Oh, wow.
Detective
and
Dreamy.
that's before he was Mr. Dreamy. I don't think he really did anything back then, did he? This
is before he was McDreamy on Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
He was one of my favorite things in Transformers 3.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So,
I never saw it. I don't watch the Transformers movies. Don't hate
I
me.
actually really like Patrick Dempsey in this movie. I really enjoy him. And it's not just because he's pretty to look at. I think he's a really decent actor, and he did what he could with the script at the time.
I got you. Yeah, I like him. I like him too. I mean, I feel like he doesn't add to the investigation at all, but I do add that I feel like he adds to the tone of the film.
Well, he's there for audience sake. That's how I feel. Every time he has a bit of dialogue, it's just for us to get a little more insight. The first time you see him, he shows up at Gail's event at this college, and this is the only time Gail feels like Gail is because she's trying to tell everybody, do whatever you need to do to get the scoop. The rest of this movie, I feel like, is unearned character development because she's jealous. She's there's something else going on, and it doesn't feel like Gail. Because 1, 2, and 4, that's the Gail Weathers, the bitchy, I'll do whatever I can to get where we need to go type of person. This one feels like she's playing a third stooge with the Three Stooges. Not saying that's a bad thing because I love Dewey and I really love Parker Posey, and that's a fun.
Oh my God,
those
yeah.
are a fun bit to watch. It's just we're sacrificing Gail's character, but Kincaid shows up at the college scene real quick, and he's like, "Hey, do you know who this is? This is Maureen Prescott. Why would this be at the Cotton Weary scene?" And I think he's asking where Sydney's in hiding, and
Well, he didn't know it was Maureen Prescott at the time. Gail's the one that told him that it was Maureen Prescott in the picture.
and
Yeah.
that's where she gets involved with the investigation.
Yes. Yes.
Sydney is at like a ranch. She's hiding out, and I feel like that's a fun scene. But again, if we start breaking it down, it kind of loses.
It's a pretty scene to look at. I really like her house. I always wondered how she afforded that house. Other than the fact she may be in witness protection, which I'm assuming.
Oh, come on. That's daddy's money.
I call bullshit on both of those.
True though.
You would think she'd get residuals from Gale's and the movies that are coming out.
True.
They're using her character and likeness. She should be getting shit. And she said, "Hey, don't do anything that is fictional." That's why I think they're struggling with future movies like Scream 4. They're like, yeah, that Sydney girl threatening like lawyers and shit. That's why they had to switch up the characters.
Right.
Okay.
I will say that when they do open up to that scene and she's walking the dog, so she has the dog for protection, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
She has the security gate. She has the alarm on her house, 5 or 6 different locks on the door.
It looked like there was a line wire. This is the last movie I like from picking it up. A line wire. It looked like it was an electric fence. I would jokingly say, "Oh, anybody can hop that fence," but then I'm like, "Wait, there's nothing on that fucking gate. You can just seriously, you can clear the fence. You can run and jump over it easy. You can't just climb up on it." And the same thing for the gate. But the thing is, if you jump over the gate, you don't have the electric shock. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. That doesn't make sense. So I'm trying to make sense of it.
Well, and now then it like goes to she's working for a women's crisis hotline to help like battered and women who are being abused. And you can see it's like a way of her using that to help other people because of how she's been hurt.
And I love that. I love that personally because it's like
Billy
kind of
doesn't
like
seem to.
I don't. It's kind of like, all right, PTSD guy from the army. You dealt with bombs and warfare. You know what? We're gonna have you be the firework guy, and you're gonna blow up fireworks every single. No, it's like they have trauma in this. Don't put them in their trauma.
Girl as a therapist, darn it.
She's barely she's like a suicide hotline worker. She's just helping people barely. It's like a quick phone call. Hey, you matter, and bye. It's not like you don't sit down. You don't have a notepad. You like she didn't get a degree in therapeutic stuff. She was going for drama, for God's sake. So, if anything, if this is helping her heal, so be it. But later on in the movie, you see that it's probably doing more damage than it is good. So why do it?
Well, I think it was her way of trying to give back to the world, even though she couldn't really be in it, and helping people that have been through traumatic things like she had.
Then write a fucking book like you do in Scream 4. Like you...
Well, she wasn't at that point yet, I guess. I mean, her story wasn't completed. She still had a lot of questions in this one. She didn't know why her mother did all the stuff that she did. Her father was clearly not talking from the scene at the table because, like, she even says, why did you have so many questions, Dad?
Why did Mom have so many secrets?
Yeah, and he diverts the question and says you should come home. And I'm like, dude, that's not how you're going to get your daughter to come home. Actually tell her what's going on here.
Well, then do a self-help book because apparently there's people that are struggling with parents and opening relationships. Write a book about communication. There's so many things you can do in life. You don't have to put yourself in danger to try to help others.
Very
I'll
true.
agree with that.
And clearly, definitely goes wrong. I'm not going to jump ahead or anything. But there's so many pointless, I would say, safety things. If you're living in a house of glass, if a motherfucker's going to break in, they're going to break in, you know?
Yeah.
True. I will say I do enjoy that scene of her coming into her home, and I love the traditional scream music with the that very like scream music. But it basically sets up the fact that she's very paranoid right now. She is not over what she went through, and we get into the fact that Cotton's been killed, and she sees it on TV, and as Gail in normal fashion, she's on the case.
Well, speaking of music, the next scene is Dewey's scene. So Gail stops on, and then she walks in, and like Dewey's the consultant for this movie. But the thing is, he has this slick back hair, this blazer. And then he looks doofy as fuck, like a wannabe gangster. And he has the Dewey theme from part 2, the like you're not fucking James Bond. If anything, like this is you. You're Officer Doofus. You're a bumbling idiot, and the thing is, it happens so many times in this movie. He is Doofy in this movie.
I mean, I agree with you, but also at the same time, this is my man Dewey you're talking about, okay?
He doesn't get he doesn't get cred from me until the 4th movie. The 4th movie, he evolves into that badass. You feel sorry for him and his relation. Like, he has layers in this next movie, and which we'll get to. This movie, he has a love triangle.
Yeah, exactly. I'll go back to your earlier comment about Gail and not being kind of like the traditional Gail. I think it was because this is the only one that they're not really together in. They're off because they're not with each other. I think Gail's off. She's doing her own thing because she was trying to break away from Woodsboro again. And, you know, anytime Gail tries to do that, it just does not go right because her and Dewey, they kind of like are meant to be together, even though they like fight against it.
I feel like they made her nicer, because not Tori Spelling, what's her name? Parker Posey. Parker Posey was being such a bitch, and it's gonna be hard to watch two bitches go bitching at each other. I would have more fun, especially with the trio bitch fest with Carrie Fisher, Gail Weathers, and like that. That would have been a fun scene to watch. But I get why you lightened up on Gail.
I got you. I mean, it's just at that moment, I think we're ready to go into the scene when Gail goes into the studio, right? That's the next scene we're going into, essentially.
Yep. I mean, we're pretty much there. We talked about her entering and Dewey.
Just want to make sure everybody got their points in before I moved on.
Right. So we pull into the studio and all the new staff characters are reading their lines and like talking about. And Gail walks in with that yellow outfit.
Look at her bangs.
Yes. Yellow outfit, red shirt, looking like a beautiful McDonald's queen. Thank you.
I don't even want to talk about those bangs.
Well, she looked like she robbed a man with a yellow hat and made a dress out of it.
Triggered, okay? Don't come for my girl. Okay, I know. Everybody comes for her bags. Everybody comes for her bags, I swear.
And I know there's like a reason for it, but I can't specifically remember what the reason
I think it was a thing back then. I think that was like the style back then, and she just tried it out.
Well, in order to attract a doofus, you have to look like a doofus.
I don't know what style that is, because that shit looked broke.
Yeah, I mean, she still looks sexy, so I guess she's got to be a sexy enough woman.
Is beautiful. But so what does that mean? She walks in and like
she walks in.
Her.
Yeah.
Well, she puts a camera in her bag.
Yeah, she has like camera in her bag because she's filming everything. But Parker Posey, who's playing her in the Stab movie, sees her and she's like, "Oh my god!" And she goes on and is like, I feel like I am in your mind. And she's like, that explains the consonantics. And as soon as, like, Parker Posey senses her bitchiness, you can just, like, I love Parker Posey and everything about her acting. You can see, like, right then she just snaps and she's like, okay, let's switch this up. We're going all bitch. And I'm ready for all of it. Because I love those two together, back and forth. I think they work really well together. I think maybe one of the reasons they might have added her, now that I think about it, is because we're not getting the, now that you said this comment, Billy, we're not getting our traditional Gale that we normally will. And I think with Parker Posey, a lot in her lines, she expresses that. She's like, my gal would do this, my gal would do this. And I think that might have been their way of actually making up for her being a little bit different of a character in this one.
I think they try to make character growth, but it's kind of like you made her grow too fast.
Gotcha.
Can I ask a question? What do you guys think about because we're already there, what do you guys think of the actual other people that they got to play the stab characters?
Okay. I like Jenny McCarthy as the dumb blonde character. I did like her.
I had no idea that it was her until last week.
Really?
So
Jim Carrey's ex-wife. They have a baby.
Well, she's married to Donnie Wahlberg now, right? Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
you didn't know that? Candy, the one that plays Candy, Billy, the blonde. She's Jim Carrey's ex-wife.
So I knew her from 2.5 Men. So I knew that she was 2.5 Men. I don't keep up with Jim Carrey's sex life, so I wouldn't know that.
But yeah, she's married to Donnie Wahlberg now, Mark Wahlberg's brother. And,
big anti-vaxxer. Big anti-vaxxer.
Like that matters.
Crap ton of books.
Let's not go there.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to open a discussion. I was just bringing it up.
What if I start doing this? Big vaccination person. Whoa, what? Like you.
For a lot of people that don't know, Donnie Wahlberg is in Saw 2.
Really?
Yep.
You didn't know that? He's the main detective, and his son's going through these Saw games. No way. Anyways, Donnie Wahlberg.
Donnie Wahlberg is in Saw 2, and his son is the one who is being put through the Saw games.
Yeah.
Who's the other detective? There's a woman detective also that she appears in Scream 3 and she meets her end. Saw 3. She meets her end in Saw 3 with the angel trap. With the.
Got you. Okay. Got you.
Here's another fun fact about this movie. Did you guys know this? This movie, Scream 3, broke record at the time for playing on 3,467 screens at the same time.
I did not know that. That's incredible.
Oof. And they still made money, so hey, all power to them.
Quick question. Did you guys get any hope that the new cast would survive? Like anybody?
No. I thought that Parker Posey would survive, and
she was a pretty big name at the time, so having her slashed was a big deal.
I did not expect any of them. I felt like a lot of them were disposable and or forgettable. Parker Posey, the main reason why I knew she'll probably meet her demise is because you legit have two Gale Weathers. Which one are you going to get rid of?
I mean, true. Coming from my original viewing when I was younger, when this first came out, I don't feel like there were disposable characters, but at the same time, I was still worried for my main ones. It still made me worried for my franchise characters, especially for Gale in this one, because as you said, there was two Gales now, so who knows? Parker Posey, they might have moved on to Parker Posey. You didn't know.
And we got there's a lot of cameos in this movie.
Yes, there is.
The next scene being as the security guards are throwing Gail out of the studio, and
This is my favorite.
it's Jay and Silent Bob, and he goes, "Hey, look, it's that news lady, Connie fucking Chung." And he's like, "Hey, Connie, how's Maury?" And she hits him with the...
Yeah.
Yep, I adore it.
For a lot of people that don't know, Wes Craven is actually in that scene.
Is he?
Yes.
Oh, is
he's
he in the
walking.
tour group?
Yes. Andrew Horror. Shout out to Andrew Horror. The one who commented on my video today saying, "Oh, most people don't point it out." I was like, I forget to every fucking time.
I really.
Well, there we go.
The main reason why Jay and Silent Bob's in this movie is because Wes Craven did a cameo in Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, where Ghostface, I bet you'll never guess the killer.
Huh? What?
Ghostface was an orangutan.
Oh my god.
Okay. Okay.
And then he's
Okay.
like, who's
All I
writing
can say
this?
about that is,
Weren't they friends too? Jay and Silent Bob were really good friends with
They're
Wes
Wes
Craven.
Craven? I would imagine, dude, Kevin Smith is like friends with everybody. I never heard Kevin Smith.
He wrote and directed, or not directed, he wrote and created Tusk. So
Yeah.
Silent Bob is the one that wrote and created Tusk. He's always been in the horror world.
A24 supremacy.
It's
He
24.
tried to get a lot of different directors to direct that because he didn't want to direct that one himself. He even went to Quentin Tarantino first for that one. That
For
would've been
Tusk?
interesting, Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
That was
But
his first
nobody-
choice, but he turned it down.
Everybody can fight me on this one. Quentin
Okay.
Tarantino's Death Proof is a slasher movie.
I mean, it's about a serial killer, so I can't really argue with you.
Oh, you know what? You know what else?
Billy, stop being nice. You would go hard on me. Go hard on Rob too. I know Rob's special Marshall, but he gets to get yelled at too.
Hey, that was last episode. Last time we tried.
All right, pause, Dean. Yes. Okay.
Sorry, we had to take a little break. I'm in a new attire, but guess what we just found out? Rob has an insane Adam Sandler impersonation. You know it, Rob?
Yes, we just found this out. He just did this for us.
Rob, go ahead. He can do Little Nicky, he can do Waterboy, whatever he wants to do. Go for it.
Waterboy really good. Like, really good.
Can I ask you two a question?
Yes.
What the fuck are you talking about?
He just did it while we were on break, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why he's acting like this.
Here's the one impression I can do. Do you remember Andy Rooney?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Andy Rooney, and my eyebrows are the size of sofa beds. Why do they call an orange an orange, but they don't call a banana a yellow?
Okay, now do that as Adam Sandler.
I can't do Adam Sandler.
You just did Adam Sandler!
No, I didn't. I can do one Adam Sandler quote that he does from 50 First Dates. There's a scene when he's on the boat and he's playing the Beach Boys tape. And he goes, "How nice of that man to make me a tape of all the time I spent with his daughter." What an asshole!
Man, I can't believe everybody does stuff that I say on the spot. This is like the fifth episode.
Rob. I wouldn't technically throw you under the bus typically like that, but Billy does it to me all the time, and I finally got an opportunity to do it to somebody else.
I got you guys with the game this evening. I got you.
Oh, damn it.
I'm scared. Billy, what did you do? And also, Billy, I'm very mad that you changed because that doofy outfit was epic, especially with the little...
Nobody complimented me. I felt like a doofus.
I literally told you when we started this that how much I loved it. Roll back the footage.
Oh, okay, but my Venmo and Cash App was empty. I'm just kidding. Anyways, where were we last?
You didn't put that vacuum away, though, did you?
No, it's still blowing. I'm sucking. I mean, whatever you want it to do. I mean, it's off. It's off.
We're right at the scene where Jenny McCarthy is about to get a phone call.
Oh, this is going to be a fun one because the podcast before I had a huge thing about there's two killers. And right before Jenny McCarthy goes into the thing, you see somebody dodging and weaving. Like, between
Yes.
columns, and you're like, okay, so he's outside watching. No, motherfucker's inside the like actual room, the dressing room. So who was that being creepy up top across the street? Somebody had to be like, hey, here she comes. Yeah, like,
See, I never noticed the person up top across the street until you said something, Billy. I didn't realize that when Jenny McCarthy is going up them stairs into the studio, there's a menacing person somewhere else in that shot. I never realized that. But go ahead, Billy.
That is because they wanted to make Angelina's character a ghost face.
the Sydney new like girl.
Yeah,
The girl that played Sydney in Stab, essentially.
It's almost like they filmed it and then they like nipped it in the bud
Well,
right at the end.
they also, as like the DVDs came out, they put in memoriams in there. She was the only character missing from the in memoriams. But you still see her like okay, you don't see her get stabbed or anything, but below the stairs, dragged off.
Well, she wasn't supposed to. I feel like she wasn't supposed to. If they were making that Stab movie, she wasn't supposed to die playing Sydney.
Right. Oh, of course not. Of course not. They were going to go Sydney Prescott.
Because there's the line in Scream 5 that references Sydney's in every movie but the last one. But we can go back and forth with that for hours with the end of Scream 6, but we'll get there eventually.
Okay. I think that basically, I just lost the traffic of thought. So go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take us off a tangent. So Jenny McCarthy's character is going inside. She's having her bit with the receptionist, and Rob. This is Rob's favorite scene. Like a lot of good lines in this.
This is my favorite scene in Scream 3, only because the line that the Ghostface character says truly disturbed me and scared me when I was a kid. I saw this film probably when I was like 12, 13 years old. And, so she's supposed to be running lines with Ghostface. She runs into Tyson's character, and he's got like a fake knife through the head, and they're playing around with makeup. And she goes in the office and she calls Roman. She's like, where are you? You're supposed to be here to run lines. And he's like, I'm running late. So they start running lines over the phone. And so she gets to a point in the script where she's like, that's not the line. And Roman says, oh, well, it is in my script. And she goes, has there been another fucking rewrite? Like every 15 minutes, how are we supposed to learn our lines? And he's like, it's not just a new script. It's a new movie. It's my movie. And it's called Sarah Gets Skewered Like a Fucking Pig.
Yeah. I love it.
Line. I gotta say, when I watched it today, I filmed it, but I filmed it twice. The first time that I filmed it, it actually sent a chill all the way up my spine, and I had to like go outside and breathe for a second because it truly disturbed me. The fear on her face is so genuine.
She's not a bad actress.
Well,
I love her as an actress. I think she's a really cool person.
Nobody gets to see Roger Jackson. Like, he's not allowed to be on set. So when he's doing these phone calls, these are legit, and it's frightening, and it's crazy. Like, imagine a guy doing that to you as you're acting, and it's kind of hard because you can't. So when you're doing it, the kids got used to Pennywise after a while. Everybody got used to the person playing the villain. You can't get used to the person being the caller because he's never on set. He always just calls.
Right, and so it's like you always, like, if I was that person, I always imagine, like, my mind would be going, like, what does this person look like? Why is this person doing this to me? Like, what did I do? Like, why do I deserve this? Because truly, all of those actors, they didn't deserve that. They had nothing to do with Woodsboro. They had nothing to do with anything.
Yep. They were just candy.
Yeah, exactly. and poor Sarah, she runs and she hides in the dressing room, and instead of calling 911,
she calls campus security. Who who's already in the building locking up.
That's awesome.
Locking her in with the killer.
Right, and then the ghost face comes out from behind.
No. Can I tell you, when I was younger, the first time I saw this film, how effective that was to me? Because I kind of called it, because I saw all those Ghostface costumes, and I was like, oh, I know he's going to be in there. And it still freaked me out. Oh my God, when he stepped out and you hear that shing from the knife when his hand comes out, it's like, oh, my girl's done. I was like, darn it.
I love the knife sound effects, especially when they sheath it and they like pull it out of the thing. Ugh.
Doesn't she try to defend herself too? And it's all fake plastic props.
That's right. She tries to defend herself, and all of the knives are rubber, and then she finally finds that like big machete thing, and it's still rubber. And
Yeah,
she's
like that. It's like,
so good, so good.
I will say,
we-
mention from my mother when we first go ahead, Rob.
No.
It's just a quick one. When
No,
we
I
first
wanted
watched
you
it,
I wanted
Go
you
ahead.
to say that again. I wanted you to
Yeah.
say that again.
Yes.
So go ahead.
When I first watched this film with my mother, she said that bitch's tongue would have been out. She ain't dead.
when he pushes her through the door. And
Through the
sets her
door,
back.
and she was hanging over it. She was like, that bitch's tongue would have been out.
So true.
I
You
was
go,
like,
Mama.
it's true though, because like you go limp. So I mean, well, I guess, hey, but yeah, I do like that one. I will say though that I will find too in this one that they kind of use the same stab twice as a kill, because with her they get her in the back, and with the opening kill they get her in the back. It's kind of the same kill twice over, just done in a different fashion. I noticed this most recent watch through, because he gets him a lot from the back in this one. I realized.
What a
and
coward!
It's not really, as we've talked about. There's not a lot of blood. It's not.
I think if you really dissect that, like the way he uses the knife and the way he kills them, like so the stabbing in the back, it's ultimate revenge. It's his ultimate, like, fuck you.
I got you, because it's like a yeah.
See, and that's
Yeah,
what
I got
sucks for me the most about this movie. A lot of the scenes in the previous movies, the mask falls off or gets ripped off by the other person, and they get to see their final moments, who it really was. Nobody knows it's Roman. Cotton didn't understand it's Roman. Like a lot of these, like you guys said earlier, it's unjustifiable. These characters did not deserve it.
And it's like when you finally find out it's Roman, that's why Sydney has that look on her face, and then when Gail finally finds out it was Roman, Roman? It was Roman?
Well,
yeah.
We skipped this scene. Do you mind if we go back 1 second?
Oh, no, we definitely got to go back a little bit, because there's a scene I want to bring up.
I was just referencing, because you say Roman and his reveal, that's immediately where I go to.
Oh yeah, because it's his spotlight.
Before Jenny McCarthy's scene, there was the ghost scene.
Yes, which terrified me as a child, which I know you give me hate for, Billy, because you think it's so stupid.
I think
but
it's...
I literally got a nightmare from that scene as a child. Thank you.
Well, the main reason why I think that scene is so effective as a nightmare and is scary, but later on in the film, like, she hears it again. She hears, like, oh, there's somebody, like toying with me. Like, my mother was here. She's crying. The detective, like, Kincaid is like, oh, like, search the premises. And it's like, she's having ghost visions. Is it, like, really a ghost? Is Ghostface fucking with her, with her mom?
It's almost like a paranoid delusion, or like a...
Yeah, I think it's just showing Sydney's mental state at the time. She's not in a good place in this film.
Well, this is another thing that kind of fucked with me. Like, I'm like, this is just fucking with us to fuck with us, you know? Because last podcast I was like, is it this, is it that? Like, I'm trying to deep dive into it. No, this is for meta's sake. You know why? Because horror trilogies don't really happen. This is going to jump into the Randy scene. I'm just going to get this out of the way. Randy's like, a lot of things, a lot of past trauma, PTSD comes in. Like, he says some shit like that. And she's like, that's...
He says, whatever you know about the past, forget it. And it's going to come back to bite you.
Yeah, and basically it's like, oh, that's why my mom's haunting me. She's like, I've been seeing my mom. I'm like... So, do you guys know you're in the third movie? Like, this is just so meta. Like, they're calling it a third concluding chapter. How do they not know there's, like, it's not a franchise? They're, like, it's meta to the point where it doesn't make sense.
I think it was a mixture of the fact that Wes Craven was not planning on doing horror movies after he did Scream 1. Scream 1 was going to be his last horror movie. That was going to be his exit to the horror genre. So I don't think he really planned to keep this going as much as he did.
Scream is like a cash cow, and it's kind of like, how could you put this franchise on the back burner? And you know what, Wes, you're great and all, we love you, but we've done this before and we'll do it again. Nightmare on Elm Street had a lot of great success. In fact, some of the people say Nightmare 3 is better than what you guys put out. So, like, I'm not saying that. Okay, I am saying that. I love Nightmare 3.
New Nightmare Supremacy.
When he came back and did it, that was pretty good.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, I said when he came back and did New Nightmare, that was pretty good. But
see, the thing with the whole Nightmare on Elm Street thing, from what I understand, New Line kind of cut Wes Craven out of that project, is the reason why he was no longer attached to the project. And New Nightmare was their gift to him as a sorry for screwing you over for so many years. Because they took that project away from him, essentially, and basically did what they wanted with it. And New Nightmare was New Line Cinema's gift to Wes Craven.
Well, studios do that, and I can see Scream being one of those studios that, like, hey, this is like a cash cow, and it's mooing. Like, we'll probably do Scream 4 later on without you.
I wish they thought about that. I wish they went in that direction. I wish we still had Wes around to make some great horror movies, you know. Rest in peace, Wes.
You're literally, like, I'm tearing up over here. Just, like, just talking about Scream in general and Wes Craven, like, really gets me choked up because he's gone.
Well,
and it's like...
What bums me out is everybody talks about those two movies. He did, like, People Under the Stairs, Hills Have Eyes. He's done so many other great horror films, but
the only film I will say that I do not like by Wes Craven, and it's because of the scene that you can guess, is The Last House on the Left.
Okay,
and that's one of my favorites because I'm a shock cinema lover. Okay,
it's just like when you have been through something like that.
No, I understand completely. No, I get it. There's no judgment here.
It's really difficult to watch.
No, I get it.
I'm the exact same way with Dracula 2000. Once you've been through shit like that, I'm just fucking...
We're just gonna stop here.
Rob was having a moment!
I can't fucking stand you, Billy.
I can't stand it.
Go get your doofus outfit on right now. You deserve that outfit.
When shit gets too serious, I can't take it. Like, you guys are getting deep in emotions. I'm over here like, you know what?
I'm sorry. I just get that way when we talk about
so do I. No,
See,
like, it's like, you got, like, I get emotional with this stuff, too. Because people don't realize, and I've probably brought it up on the podcast before, but these films were my friends, man. These were my best friends growing up. I didn't have friends. I would literally get a stack of horror movies every weekend and watch these movies. And I think another reason that, and I'll add this into the whole film we're talking about, the reason why I love 3 so much is because it shows me the world that I so desperately and died to wanted to be in from the time I was young till now.
Hollywood rapist?
No, just Hollywood. Like, just Hollywood and horror movies.
I just want to be gangbanged by Hollywood execs. That's exactly what I... Oh, and then I live a life of tragedy by banging Billy's dad and everybody. What?
It gave you a glimpse of the behind the scenes for the... Thank you, Rob.
The power of Christ propels you.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it gives you a chance to get behind the scenes of cinema by just going in and go, ow, God, I didn't finish my sentence. Stop it.
Go get your vacuum.
Listen, you guys better prepare yourself, because when we do Scream 5, I'm going to get real emotional. Sorry.
Oh, Scream 5, like, the original script was
Y'all,
brutal. I can't wait to
going hard
talk
on
about
this
this.
one. I'm going to be going hard on me on some Scream 5. Just wait. That's
I
my
can't
least favorite,
wait.
Okay?
You fold easy. You've been folding easy.
Oh, no, I don't fold. I respect others.
You're right. You fall asleep in the middle of the movie and then claim that Scream 3 is one of the best movies of all time.
That was not my fault. That was my sister's fault. Stacy, you were listening. This is on you, girl.
In Lilith's defense, I believe she has seen that movie more times combined than me and you, Billy. So.
Yeah, I
See,
watch that.
I usually watch the
up.
Scream trilogy a lot. I say I watch Scream, but I usually follow up with 2 and 3. The movies, this movie's forgettable, but I still watch this movie a lot. I never watched it on repeat like I have the past 2 weeks, and the more and more I do,
I don't find it's forgettable, especially because it has so many iconic lines.
Okay, what's Detective Kincaid's partner? What's his name?
I don't know his name, but he has one of the.
That's his name.
He has one of the best lines, and Roman says something. He shouts to him. It's like in the beginning of the film, and he goes, "Does this shit with Cotton have anything to do
with this movie?"
Stabbing, and he's like, well, "Yeah, he was working on a film called Stab.
He was
stabbed."
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Who was the guy that bailed Roman out of prison? What was his name?
Lance Hendrickson.
Oh, okay.
That's
there you
easy.
go.
He's horror royalty. I mean, come on. That's an easy one.
All right.
Yeah. Doesn't he make an appearance in The Quarry?
He does make an appearance in The Quarry. He's the head of the family. He's he's Daddy Hunter. Yeah, Daddy. Yeah, I was gonna say Daddy, but I was gonna let you say it instead of me, so Billy couldn't call me out on that. Thank you.
Whose birthday was it at the mansion?
What happened?
Whose birthday was it at the mansion?
It was Roman's.
All right.
Oh, are you checking? Are you checking? Boy, I know this film left, right, up, center, in between, okay? I know this film, thank you. I don't need to rewatch it 50 million times, even though I rewatched it last week. And again today for the majority of the part. Thank you.
Can a fax machine still work when the power's out? That's my fun.
Okay.
Oh, God. That's the only scene in this movie I don't like is when the house explodes.
Can I please tell you I love the part, though, when that's all going on, the lights are out, they're panicking, Dewey and Gail are trying to explain to them, if the pagers are saying, stay inside, that means we need to go outside, and basically they force them all out, and Parker Posey is like, and she's like, wait for the fucking movie! And I was dead.
There has to be a lot more killers that go on in this scene alone. The gas, the lights, the trailer, and they hint at it because somebody escapes earlier.
Angela leaves the room early because Angela's her name, I believe, outside of her. Angelina, thank you. Yeah, she leaves the room.
But before she leaves, it's believed she turned on the gas, and that's what.
That makes sense. That makes sense. But I will say, even though everything tracks with her being another killer, I'm glad they didn't, because she works better as a red herring than she would have an actual killer.
I think the opposite, because who does she play?
Well, Sydney.
There's
Sydney,
deeper ties, and why would he choose her to be Sydney? Because he chose her out of 3,000, 300,000?
Yeah,
we know why from a line that she said.
Well,
what was that line?
Yeah. Oh, what was that line?
I'm saying this movie's forgettable. Yeah, go ahead.
I did not fuck that pig Milton to die here with second-rate actresses like you two. Or two-rate celebrities like you
That's
two.
perfect.
I die.
Because she shows up later on saying, I did not fuck him just for that. I fucked him just to kill you. That would be amazing.
I mean,
And not
If
to
she
mention,
would've said, I didn't fuck that pig Milton to get a leading role to die here with second-rate celebrity.
you know another
would
reason
She
why.
would have said, I didn't fuck that pig Milton, so I couldn't kill you, or something like along that.
And
It
also,
would make sense. Oh, go ahead, Billy.
she was a side. She was in the same high school as Sydney. She went to high school with Sydney. She was the background. She was the background character in that. When Sydney went to college, she got the lead role at whatever to do that one thing. She didn't get shit. She's trying to be this actress. She's trying to get a lead role. The thing is she lived in Sydney's shadow, whether she liked it or not. There's motivation there.
I got you. I get you now. I get where you're coming from.
So
I got you.
there's a lot of good reasons why she would be with Roman and be doing the shit she's doing.
Makes sense. And then in turn, Roman would know what kind of person Lance Hendrickson is, so he would know if she slept with him, odds are she would get the part. So that could have been a way of him getting her in as Sydney and manipulating the whole thing. So that is a very possible outcome.
Literally.
I mean, Roman is, to this day, still, well, if you haven't seen all the movie, close your ears for a second. He is still only the singular Ghostface we have ever had to this day.
Because of a last-minute script rewrite. That's the only reason.
I'm waiting for them to pull that again, and I want to see if they can pull it off well.
That's the only thing I'll give Roman, is that he did this all himself.
You got to think too.
But
they wouldn't have
did
released this
he-
if they didn't think he was capable of doing this, like every time. They're not going to put this out with it being a continuity error to the point where they're like, "Oh, you have to have two."
Then why did they
No,
keep
this
some
is
of the
doable
scenes
with
in there?
one.
Like, there was no reason to do the dodging the pillar scenes. Like, if you're trying to fool the audience with a red herring, don't make the camera person a red herring, because you wouldn't guess a camera person to be a ghost face. Does that make sense?
I got you. I got you.
The thing is they were on a deadline. They had rewrites, reshoots. They were fucking up the reshoots with Cotton Scene, let alone what else they could have been doing. So when you have a deadline, you're going to do this. They're not going to delay it. The fact they just wanted it out and done because, one, a lot of these people committed to other movies. They are growing in their careers. They're not trying to stick around for this movie. So they basically rushed it, finished it, and
Neve
this is what we
Campbell
got.
Only had, I think it was you that mentioned, Rob. Neve Campbell only had a few weeks or like a month to work on this project.
He only had 20 days to shoot
Yeah.
this movie.
Yep. Because
That's why-
she was on something else at the time.
That's why she didn't do a lot of the extra scenes, like with the house exploding and all that. They made sure that her scenes got done quick, so they can go on and do the extra stuff.
And you can tell because she wears the same outfit the entire movie.
She does wear a lot of the same stuff.
Miss Girl outfit on point.
She always looks so good, and she's still wearing Derek's letters from 2. If you notice, she's still wearing his letters, his Greek letters, which I really like. I think I'm comfortable because I feel like we're gonna want to go into the mansion scene soon. There's one scene that I want to mention before we go in.
The only boyfriend that did fuck her over.
I know.
I mean,
I
Kincaid
know,
hasn't
for
yet,
real.
right? I'm just kidding.
Well, she really only dated 2 men, but like Billy
I
and
mean,
him.
well, if she would have given Randy a chance, she might have had a happy ending, but she never gave Randy a chance.
I always wanted that. I always kind of wanted that Nev and Jamie Kennedy to get together, but
He
like,
loved her so much. He swooned
did.
for her so much. But going into Neve Campbell, I wanted to be her in this film. I thought she looked gorgeous in this film. Down to the haircut, to like the edgy style. I love her so much. But going into, the killer finds her essentially because he calls her. We find out he can manipulate her mother's voice, so she comes back. She goes to the police station, and there's this scene between her and the main detective. And I adore this scene, and not because of what's on just like the outer of the scene. It's literally, if you're paying attention and listening, Sydney is literally interrogating this cop and seeing if he could be one of the potential killers by what she's asking.
You're exactly right, because she asked him, "How did you get assigned to this case?"
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell she's being cautious because they make him a red herring in this movie too.
Big time make him a red herring in this movie. And she ends it with, "Hey detective, what's your favorite scary movie?" And he says, "My life." So, that's a very ambiguous answer.
And that's what he says. She says, "What do you know about trilogies?" And he says, "The only thing I know about trilogies is that in the end, all bets are off." And that's one of the taglines.
It plays with you.
That's one of the taglines they use on the poster and the DVD cover.
Have you guys watched
Go ahead.
I was about to say, have you guys watched the trailer for this movie?
No.
Not since it came out.
You can tell this movie was rushed because they only used limited footage for the third movie. Most of it was just talking about the first two chapters of, like, Scream 1 and Scream 2, using footage from those two movies. And it's like, they're really selling, like, you guys seen the first two, you should see the third,
I got you. It's a shame that happened, It is a shame that happened. Though I still feel like we got a decent film out of it. It's very effective in a lot of ways, though. I know it's a lot more campy than a lot more people want out of a Scream franchise. But I guess, are you guys ready to go into the mansion scene, the party scene? We're at Roman's birthday party. Or is there something else we want to discuss before we get there?
I'm happy with what I discussed with Randy's scene, so...
Okay, we're at... okay, go ahead, Rob.
I was going to say, fun fact about the mansion, the actual mansion, is that the same house that's used as a school in Halloween H2O.
Well, okay.
But go ahead.
Okay. Dang, I'm just throwing them out there like that. Like, with all these facts, and this is one of my favorites, and you got more facts than me. Look at you.
I do my research, boo.
But no, so we're going into, we get a fake call from Sydney to Parker Posey, Gail Weathers, and our good old Dewey, and they're rushing to the party because they think Sydney's going to be there. Sydney gets a call from the killer. She's heading to the party. Roman's having his birthday party. Parker Posey, Gail Weathers, and Dewey all arrive there, and he's like, Sydney's right here, and he's talking about stab Sydney, essentially. And basically, it starts to go down from there, and...
I want to backtrack quick, because the scene where Ghostface calls Sydney in the police station, I just want to point out the foreshadowing in that scene.
Yes.
While she's on the phone, the camera points to a bulletproof vest.
Yes, it does.
And then she's also looking at all of the other officers that are like scrambling around and like looking at their desk and seeing. And then we actually see her when she puts the phone down, she raids Detective Kincaid's desk and finds his little spare backup gun. So that's what she's prepared with when she comes to the party. So we see her actually, like, he makes her use the metal detector all over her body, and she throws the gun into the pool. And so we think she's defenseless.
Yeah, and we think she's screwed. And then, it's like, oh God, because you don't pick up that subtle hint. Because it was effective to me. It was effective to me. I did not pick up that hint.
Very effective.
One more scene I'd like to say real quick too is every single movie had somebody in custody. This movie didn't really have that. And the only reason why I have an issue with this movie is Cotton was definitely a person of interest in too. But the thing is the crime is so broad, you don't know exactly who it could be. Same thing with Scream 1. And the main reason why is because they kind of went after other people that weren't in the line of fire. And it gave them it basically threw people off the track so they can get what they need done. This movie didn't do that. It was a handful of people that are tied to this movie So you know it's somebody on production or somebody close to production, so they can go after these people. If they would have at least held one or two people, they could have either gotten saved by Ghostface not getting to him, or two, you picked out Roman, and yeah, nothing would have went down later on in the movie.
Well, Roman's the only one who's in custody in this movie for a very short period
Of time. But the thing is how did he like get through it all, especially with what he got? You know, does that make sense?
Do you mean he got out? How did he get out?
So
of jail?
Billy got out easily with the phone call of Ghostface at the prison.
They said it wasn't his cell phone; it was a clone phone, so they couldn't hold him based on the fact on the phone call like they were. That was the justification of why they had to let him out. Not to mention, Lance Hendrickson is obviously a big-time movie producer. He has all the money in the world. He would have spent anything to get him out. So it's not hard to believe he was out of prison, though. You don't really see a scene of him being interrogated, which would have kind of been nice. It would have been, I guess.
But you still have a handful of people, eyes on detective. It's like, wouldn't you be following these people more head on, especially if you know these people are getting off left and right?
I mean, even Dewey brings that up after Candy gets killed. He's like, shouldn't we bring more police presence around Parker Posey? And he's like, oh, they got a bodyguard. She doesn't need no more protection. And it's like, well, yeah, one jackass is not going to be enough. You don't understand.
Right, and they get Joe Swanson from Family Guy to be her bodyguard.
And you think after his death, there would be more people after that.
What's that? I'm sorry?
After Joe Swanson's death, you would think there would be more people after that.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be able to go to that party with limited, like, people showing up.
He got lucky with him, okay? If he did not, because Joe Swanson had, strength over him, I have a feel.
I love how none of us know his character name.
Patrick Wilburton.
I call him douchebag, okay? Because he's just a douchebag. But no, I find it hilarious.
He's not a douchebag. Dewey's the douchebag.
Whatever, Mr. O, my list.
This guy's big, buff, and probably could take down most bad guys. Officer Doofus.
Since when have you ever shot a gun? Dewey, it's 10 times better than you. All you do is walk around with actresses all day.
Dewey, hold on. Dewey
is 10 times cooler, 10 times cuter.
No, he's
than
not.
he will ever be.
Okay. Here's one reason why Dewey's not that cool. He's cashing in on his sister's death and his best friend's death. He's doing a movie that is basically making fun of what they did. They're now objects.
He was traumatized by his love leaving him. He got an alternative gal. Okay,
the thing is, he never solved any of the Scream murders. In fact, he was stabbed, knocked out, beaten unconscious, or elsewhere when the reveals go down, when anything else goes down. He is essentially useless. To die.
But he still tries so hard.
To die, he's useless. He's useless. And the thing is
Billy fucking hates this movie.
He's the luckiest man alive, because out of the 1,000 times I've seen a knife thrown in a movie, how many times does the butt end of a knife hit you in the fucking head?
I will say that scene, stupid.
Stupid. And then he tumbles down the stairs, not breaking anything. Like, he's up and walking after that. It's like,
I like the scene that comes after when he's knocked down at the bottom of the stairs with him and Gal. That is a good scene, because that creeped me out initial viewing. But that scene leading up to that is pretty silly, because it's really.
Dewey's ruthless and heartless. You think he has a heart for Gal. He doesn't give two shits about Tatum. What was it? Tatum.
Well, we know what he's thinking about.
Tatum. Anyways, he doesn't give two shits about Randy.
It's just every time he sees you, Rob, he gets hot and heavy. I forgive him.
We were talking about this big meaty train earlier.
Oh my god, can we not, with how you have not seen Rob's Midnight Meat Train yet? God, we all know you haven't seen Rob's Meat yet.
I
mean, Midnight Meat Train yet.
Midnight
I know
Meat Train.
Billy wants to see the Midnight Meat Train.
Outset, I'm sorry.
I got you, Billy.
Sorry.
I got
Body horror, more like
All I'm
gogging
gonna
horror.
all I'm gonna say, the Midnight Meat Train with Bradley Cooper
Billy
and
Cooper.
Vinnie Jones is one of the best horror movies I have ever seen in my life.
Okay. You freaked me out a second ago because some reason your angle, it made it seem like you were holding somebody's hand like this instead of using your own hand.
Oh,
And it freaked me out a little bit. I was like, who else is there?
Jeez.
Anyways,
Well, it's just Doofy, like, he doesn't get useful, like I said, until the next movie. He's definitely useless in this movie. And if you say Patrick Wilburn's the douchebag, Officer Douche, like I said, the kid that's strutting around thinking he's so cool, like, no, you're useless. You're at the bottom of the totem pole.
Doofy. Sir Doofy.
That's what I'm
Just
saying.
because
He's
it's
Sir
Doofy
Doofy.
and
He's so
you-
dumb.
You
Yes,
are
he
Sir
is so
Doofy.
dumb. It's crazy.
No,
He can't even
you're
get
just
the girl.
bitter
His
'cause
girl,
you wanna
his
be him.
girl,
You're just bitter 'cause you wanna be him.
his girl disses him in books, made him loses his job multiple times. And the thing is, he can't get over it. He has to date a girl that acts like her. What a doofus.
He looked at her.
He's dumb. She lost him his job not once but twice. He's walking around with a limp, like, because of her.
I feel like Billy wants
Rob,
to
help
say. I feel like Billy wants to say what John Bender says in The Breakfast Club. Stupid, dumb, know-it-all, big mouth.
He's
Basically.
I'm waving the white flag. Call the truce.
well. Okay, let's think about it. How many times did he actually win in a Scream movie?
I mean, I'll give
Every
you that.
single time.
Never.
Every single time. You want to know why? Because he was adorable doing it.
Well, the thing is, he couldn't even take down a high school girl in part 4. He was struggling with a gun. Somebody had to beat her in the head with a pea pan. And then in part 5,
He's got butterfingers.
and then in
God.
part 5, not to spoil it, but the thing is, he was dumb. He's just like, no, guys, I'm smart. I know how to do this because I've been in it 400 times. And how many? Hey, like, dumb. You deserve what you got, you doofus. Dumb. Hey, you want to know how Gail commemorates him?
Did Billy
You wanna know how
say
Gail
he
commemorates
got
him?
what he deserved? Did Billy
Hold on,
just
time out.
say- No,
How does Gail
I-
appreciate Goofy's time? Getting a big old man rubbing her down right before he gets stabbed in Scream 6.
I'm dead.
A 6'7" huge security guard saying, "I love you, Gail. I know we've been dating for quite a while."
Okay.
I have
first
no
of all,
idea
he
what
was.
the fuck. I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about.
Neither do I. That's
What?
why I messaged you.
Gail gets a big, huge dude in her apartment, calling her babe.
Oh, because he's dating that black guy in Scream 6.
Oh, whoa. Who brought race into this?
Oh my god.
Oh, I have to edit that out, don't I? I said big, tall dude. I made sure race didn't play a part. You know what, Billy? Congratulations. High five. Good job, Billy.
Welcome to doing a podcast with the
I
one
was-
and only Billy D.
I was trying to determine what fucking
Nope.
Scream movie you were
Hold on.
talking about
And-
and where in the film we were.
Well, the thing is,
Billy, you got me
Gail-
triggered. I am turning into
Gail
smoke
basically
weed,
traded
drinking,
in the doofus
weed.
model for a Lamborghini and is riding it all night long. You know?
I think,
I'm dead. I am down here.
I think
I am
Billy.
dead.
I think you should see a therapist.
I am dead.
I'm just
Your
saying.
life
And the thing
sucks.
is, we're not even at the
Your
part
life
where
sucks.
I'm most mad at. Just wait till I get to the part where I'm most
No,
mad at.
exit stage left. See you guys later. This is a great episode. I'm out. He hates Stewie. I can't do this anymore.
Dewey, okay, I don't hate Dewey. He's just not a hero. He's a doofus.
Nope, won't agree with that.
How
Okay.
not? Name one way he benefits in a Scream movie at the end.
He sacrifices himself for at least 3 people.
What?
He sacrificed himself for 3 people in that elevator. Thank you.
He didn't need to.
He still did. Okay, that's what we're saying.
And he didn't save it. He basically not going to that elevator killed 3 more teenagers after that.
Poor Rob's just sitting there like, you bitches gonna shut up about this guy already?
It's like Venus and Serena Williams, like.
I'm done.
It's hard to defend a guy who looks like he finger paints. So let's go ahead and move on to this next topic of everybody from the Stabcast dying.
Not the fingerprints.
Hey Gail, look what I do you. It's for your new book. You can put it on the cover. That's very good, Doofy.
You know what? I have that David Arquette on the set of Scream 4,
Finger paints.
He is a certified
Finger paintist.
What's that
Finger
painter's
paintist.
name with the afro?
Bob
Bob. He is a certified Bob Ross painting teacher, and he taught everybody on the set of Scream 4 how to paint in Bob Ross. Thank you.
I am
so,
shocked.
You can come at my man all you want.
You're right. You're right. You didn't prove me wrong. You proved me right. I don't know what to say. Thank you.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, what the fuck does painting have to do with this?
I would just say it's a cool guy.
No, I love David Arquette as a person. Like, the Bozo character that he's pushing, I really like a lot.
Okay.
He's bringing back old media, and I can get behind that. I really liked him in Eight-Legged Freaks. I liked him in, it's not C-Spot Run. It's that dog movie with Jake T. Angus from 2.5 Men. He was in a lot of good movies. I give his character shit because Dewey gets too much prop. The real people that are the heroes in this movie is Neve Campbell and all of them that she's in, and Gale Weathers.
I mean, I agree. I mean, see, that's the thing too. Like, going into later movies, and we'll get into it later, though. Like, I will agree with you that Dewey is not his greatest without Gale. You know, those two together are a perfect team.
Yeah, their chemistry is good.
Yes, you know, and I think that's why.
I can't wait to talk Scream 4 because I would argue the opposite.
Okay.
Especially with I keep calling her Officer Hops, but it's not Hops.
Okay. I know.
The blonde chick that makes him lemon squares.
Yeah.
Eric Judy.
Yes,
No, she was in Planet Terror, right?
Yeah,
You know that, Rob.
Yeah.
I was about to say. I love her in Planet Terror.
Planet Terror and Death Proof Supremacy because.
Oh, she was in Valentine too. Did you know this? I just rewatched it and realized she was in Valentine too.
Marley Shelton is in Planet Terror. She's also in Death Proof.
Is she?
She's also in Death Proof, playing the same character that she does in Planet Terror.
It's been a while. That steelbook I sent you of that I'm buying, so I'm gonna be watching them.
All right.
Oh yeah.
So
But
let's quickly
we're
get
at
through
our
the.
grand finale. Sydney gets to the mansion.
Well, are we going to talk about everybody dying left and right?
That's what I'm saying. We're getting to the grand finale.
Well, you said Sydney gets there. Sydney gets there well after everybody gets off left and
I
right.
didn't mean we had to skip up to that point. I just mean we're getting to...
Let's get there. Let's do it. Let's get it. What is one of the best final lines?
There's a bunch.
There's a lot in this.
There's
The
a
one
lot.
where Tyson is running down the stairs.
That's
and
a
he
good
looks
one.
back and, oh, you motherfucker!
So good. It's so good, and the way he delivered it was just perfect.
Perfect.
It was
Yes,
golden.
I loved him too. I loved him in this movie.
We
But
get that one.
His
Yep.
death is brutal.
Brutal.
Because he's running. He was running, and he's running on that runner carpet, and Ghostface pulls the carpet, and he falls on his head, and you hear it crack. But then, like, how do you get up after that?
I know that's gonna hurt.
I would have been dead right there.
I know. Pure adrenaline, I suppose, but he didn't last very long.
And you know what's funny is that initially when Ghostface comes into the room, he's yelling, "Police! Help! Police!"
Yeah,
Yeah.
True. It's like, come on, dude. It's like, yep, you're dead. You're dead just because of your stupidity. This is what you get for being in a horror movie and being stupid. But they all split up too, so that's the horror trope. You don't split up.
Yeah, and Parker Posey's character gets thrown. She like hits up against the wall, and she's like into like a secret compartment of the house.
Yes, like one after my favorite scene, the iconic scene of "I didn't fuck that pig Milton," and then what's her name again? Rob, I always say Angela. It's Angelina. Thank you. It's Angelina. She gets offed. We see Parker Posey and Gail Weathers look down at her, and then they look at each other and they scream and start running. And in that midst, Parker Posey gets into a secret passage. And you see her going up the steps, and she's like, "Okay, cool, we're good." And then all of a sudden, you hear that passage open, and we're like, "Oh shit!" And she runs, and he's running, and then you see this double-sided mirror, essentially.
I was just gonna say it shows you like how pervy old Hollywood was.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting, like the undertones of this film. If we go deep down in it, like it's like the whole Harvey Weinstein kind of situation. That's what it deals with. Before that was like out in public eye.
This was produced by the Weinsteins, oddly enough, and they wanted to make this Hollywood so it could be relatable.
So, I that's so crazy to me. That's so crazy to me. And
that's why this film makes me kind of sad.
No, I got you. But yeah, we get that scene, which I really like that scene, and it begs the question: who killed Parker Posey? Did Ghostface or did Dewey? Because that scene plays out as Parker Posey is screaming and Ghostface is going after her. We see Ghostface get up to her, but up until that point, we see boom, boom, boom with the gun with Dewey, and we see Parker Posey drop after Dewey shoots.
You're right.
But Ghostface isn't there. He already yeeted out.
He's really incompetent at his job. He shoots first, acts later.
I don't know. Is it Dewey that ends up killing her, or is it Ghostface? I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think Ghostface initiated, Dewey terminated.
I'm gonna agree with that. I think Ghostface maybe pushed her.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly what happened, because he was slashing at her.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. I think he got a couple slashes in, but I think it was Dewey that kind of finished her off on that one.
And you know what? Ghostface is a son of a bitch with that knife in this one, because
he goes like this, man. He doesn't do like the stabs. He goes like the slashes.
Yeah, he was a sick fuck with the knife in this one. Because I posted a scene on TikTok today of the scene where Sydney gets attacked in the studio, and right as she's about to get away and he grabs her foot, he slashes at her, and then the shing sound, and I literally said in my video, he's a son of a bitch with that knife in this one.
Yes, he is. And as I said earlier, it's that shing of the knife. It's like in every Scream film, and it's kind of like iconic, like Ghostface.
It makes you wince, because it's like
nice. It's because it makes it it does even if it doesn't look sharp, you hear it how sharp it is almost.
It feels real.
Yes. It's like you hear the edge of the blade just going against the robe, and it's like, oh shit, they're fucked.
Oh yeah.
I know we've hated a lot on this movie, but I do adore this one. I know Rob's loved it a little bit more now that we've gotten to watch it a couple more times. Billy obviously does not like
I
this
feel
one.
like it reversed. I went into this like, oh, I like this movie. I'm gonna have fun with it. I watched this movie probably 4 times within the past week, and I'm like, oh my god, I never want to watch this movie at least for a long time.
Honestly, it's still in my top. I moved it up from 3 to 2, so sorry, not sorry.
3 to
Honorable
2?
mention. I know. Well, okay. I honestly, if I like to keep them all in order until 5 and 6, and put 6 in front of 5. Like that was my definitive list. After rewatching this, I kind of want to put this one in front of 2, but I don't at the same time. I like keeping them in order other than 5 and 6. Honestly.
See, I can't think of the benefits of this one versus part 2 though. The killers in part 2 is better. The killings in part 2 is better. The cast in part 2 is better.
I just, as I said, I always wanted to be in that world of acting or film creation. And it really won me over with just like showing me the behind the scenes of that. I know that there was nefarious stuff behind it, but just being able to see like that world to me was really cool. I really enjoyed that. I really love Parker Posey in this. I think she is a highlight of the film. I don't think this film would have been the same with anybody else in that role, personally. I think she is truly epic in her character acting, and it would have never been the same without her. But yeah.
Agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah, and Rob's favorite line with the cigarette. I love it. Rob does it so well.
They want a picture. They want a conversation. I can handle that. You see this, Dewey? I haven't had one of these in a year and a half. Someone's going to pay for this.
No, and then when she goes, like, she has the bodyguard pick her up, and she's just like, and she's like a big baby. She's a hot mess. I love it.
She's a big bubble blowing baby in this movie.
She
But I
is.
love it. Love her.
Same.
Speaking of bubble blowing babies, how close are we to the reveal?
Oh, we're very close. Because I guess you want to go through that one scene with Sydney and the cop first before we get to the reveal.
That's gonna be a fun scene. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so she gets in there and she's still on the phone and Ghostface says now the real party can begin.
Yes.
And she starts to untie Dewey and Gale and she's asking them like where is he? And then like he shows up behind her and Dewey goes, he's right there.
Yes.
And, does she become knocked out first and then she shoots him? Or does she just immediately unload into him?
Oh,
No.
Who?
I
Gale?
believe they have a struggle.
They have a struggle to get-
Sydney and goes, yeah. Because she doesn't, the cop comes in, and she doesn't know if the cop's Ghostface or not. She's
Right.
not sure yet. So it kind of, he's like behind you, she doesn't believe it, so the scuffle happens, the cop gets knocked down, and then Sydney gets a gun, she goes off on her own. And that's, I'm skipping a little bit because,
there's the whole scuffle with the cop and Sydney.
yes,
Then
Sydney.
there's the scuffle with her, Ghostface, and the cop. And Dewey and Gale are still tied to
Yes.
the chair.
Yeah, Sydney tried to untie them initially, and that's when the commotion started. So
Right.
Gale and Dewey are untying themselves as much as they can with what the leeway Sydney had given them.
Right, and so Kincaid has the struggle with Ghostface. He becomes like bloodied and bludgeoned and knocked out.
Yes.
And the scene concludes with Ghostface knocks her out, and he eventually gets up and says, "It's your turn to scream, asshole," and unloads into him. Which it's not really subtle. You can kind of tell that Ghostface is wearing the bodyproof vest.
Magically too, if I have to
Right.
add, because he wasn't wearing that throughout the rest of this movie.
No.
Just conveniently when he gets shot.
Right.
The only way I'll let them get away with that is the fact that at this point Roman had a feeling that he probably knew the cops were going to show up at some point, so maybe he put one on just as protective measures.
Right.
I don't know. Or maybe maybe because the cop comes into the scene first, and this is Roman's house, so he could have went, put that on, and then jumped in the scene. I don't know.
Well,
It's possible.
It's not Roman's house. It's Milton's.
Oh, I forgot about that. It's not Roman's house. It is Milton's house. So yeah, scrub that. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
kinda
mean,
forgettable,
it is
huh?
pushing it. There's a lot of stuff in this one that's pushing it, I guess. But then again, it's horror, so we push to get stuff done sometimes.
Speaking of pushing,
What's the next thing? So what's the next thing that happens? She unloads on him. She shoots him, and then
he's-
she unties Gale and Dewey, and then isn't there that scene where she goes, "You want me, motherfucker? Come get me."
Come get me.
She throws the gun.
Yes.
I forget where
And
that exactly is.
Yeah, it's right after that, and then that goes into the scene where she's trying to get away from him, and then she's like throwing the books off the shelf, like trying to find a
You have
because
that Scooby-Doo moment.
Because I forget what the trigger is, but she sees that like there's got to be a lever here somewhere, so she's frantically trying to find that lever. She finds it, she goes in it, and it's a whole screening room, and all of a sudden it starts playing film of her mother having sex with Cotton, like well they're not having sex, but coming out of the hotel room with Cotton Weary, and all this
And then
stuff.
Billy's father.
All the affairs that she had just being filmed, and like she's like, it's all coming to volition now. Sydney's looked all these secrets she needed to know. She knows what her mother was doing,
And
who
it's
she
kind
was.
it's kind of haunting because
It is.
you hear her mother's voice and she's going, "I was so pretty," like all these other things, and she's like, I had so many secrets, blah blah blah, and then here comes Ghostface, and he's explaining that, when I found her, it seems that she had a few secrets, and she shunned me, and she had a new life. Yeah.
So
she was the only child Sydney was the only child that she claimed that she shut out in the cold.
what a shitty convenience, huh? I'm gonna go off real quick. I hate this fucking ending. This ending undoes my favorite Scream movie. I'll get to that in a second. Not to mention, how lazy do you have to be to throw in a family plot point? And this is the thing. This is the sequel that was building up over this trilogy. You don't even fucking mention anything like this in Scream 2. Did he just you know what? For the next few years, I'm going to take the years off. Develop my director's career just to chuck it out the freaking window, so when Sydney's at her most vulnerable, I'll bring her to Hollywood to show her, hey, look at this, your mom was a whore. We already know that. Why did you wait that long to show us that she was a whore? Oh, I manipulated Bill and Stu. Oh, what the fuck? Their motivation, them alone being fucking crazies, was the best freaking part of Scream 1. And the thing is it was really believable. It just pisses me the fuck off. It's like, why? Why does that shit need to be in a movie like that? It doesn't need to happen. And Scream 3 has the worst villain reveal of all time. Roman is a mommy wannabe piece of shit.
What happened on the podcast, you need to watch the video because we might have just seen some Billy Teat.
He has mommy issues out the ass, and it's like, why? Because mommy didn't get you milk. Mommy doesn't want to get. No, dude, fuck off. You're a Hollywood director. Go make money.
I really hope you didn't like that shirt, Billy. I really hope you didn't like that shirt.
What? Oh shit.
Did you put that on to rip that on purpose?
It was a huge prank on you.
See, I knew he changed for a reason. There's always a reason behind Billy's shit, okay?
I knew I had a huge freak out last episode, but it was a drunken rant. This one is I planned this whole bit out just to get a reaction out of Rob.
I don't think there was one freak out last episode. I think every time you spoke last episode, it was pretty much you screaming how much you hated this movie.
I just remember the one freak out. And that's because I feel that way. I hate this ending. Like the whole movie up to the end, I feel great. I feel like I can watch and it's like a Transformers movie. Like I can just turn my brain off, have a good time. But this ending, man, trying to explain all of this is just some bullshit. Grade A, I'm eating ass type of shit.
I actually like Roman's reveal when he pulls the mask off.
Same, like
Roman director.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
But the motive
that is a good
sucks.
one. Okay. I don't know. I mean,
He's so pretty in this scene.
Hold on. He was wearing glasses throughout the whole fucking movie. It took me when I first watched this movie. I'm like, who the fuck are you?
It's a ploy. It's a bullshit. Like, he doesn't need them. He was just wearing them to make everybody think of who the fuck he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like like he wanted to be that nerdy director type that nobody would suspect.
Well, that's the thing. Nobody believes Clark Kent with his glasses. Trust me. I watched this movie like thousands of times. I'm like, dude, who the fuck are you? I'm Roman. Okay, that doesn't answer my fucking question.
Can we
Who the
speak
fuck
on
are
the
you?
music in this scene though? And like, just like I adore the music and the lighting in this scene. It's amazing.
It's beautifully made.
Mm-hmm. I really do like that part of it. After the reveal happens, we learn that obviously Sydney has a brother. We talked about how he was shunned, and now he's a bitter little bitch, and he was behind all of this the whole time. And
he's a bubble blowing baby.
Yeah.
He's a bubble blowing baby. Bubble blowing baby that tried to get other people to do his dirty work, and when he finally got pissed off enough, he fucking did it himself.
What's that?
Especially for the whole line, he's like, "I'm gonna make you pay," and like for the mother and for the family. And God damn it, everything you had that should have been mine.
Yeah.
What a bitch.
Yeah.
And
I see, like, that's why I think why I said it. I love this movie because it has so many iconic lines. Though I know it's not the strongest story structure, but it has a lot of strong lines in this one.
But
even if some of the lines are funny lines, it has really strong ones.
But why go after my boys though? My posse, my guys, my top of my cot. It's
right,
like
so it makes it seem like Roman in like what's the word? Like he like corrupted Billy.
Billy would have already been fucked.
It kind of lessens the impact of the first one, that making it that he's
But
the one that came up with the concept.
Billy already lost his parents. He's like a child of going through a divorce. He's acting out within rage, and he blames Sydney's whore of a mother. The thing is, he didn't need somebody to push him there. He already sees it at home. He knows what the fuck's going on.
And it also goes into the fact, too, that Scream 2 is not technically a franchise killer. It's a... Okay, that's not the way I wanted to
basically,
say it.
this franchise turned into Fast and Furious. It's about family.
It's
Billy Loomis and his family.
It made it to where the second movie's killers were, like... It kind of skipped over that kind of thing. Like, he made Billy and Stu do it, but it was kind of like Billy's mom was kind of on her own volition.
Yes,
that's kind of what I got.
They're kind of like
We're
copycats rather than the originals.
What happened? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Me?
Billy?
They're copycats rather than originals because they would be going out to do Billy Loomis's deed. No, Billy Loomis was doing the deed of. So this is now one convoluted circle.
Mm-hmm. See, that's what I'm trying to get to is the fact that like. Even though I love this ending, it was very effective when I saw it. I still think it's effective. It brings a family aspect. It gives it 360.
Family.
It brings a family aspect. You don't expect a long lost brother, you know. So Scream really plays on the fact of its reveal, and this reveal was a good one. Though, was it the best one in the franchise? No. Okay. I think it was shot well. The music was great. And when Sydney ends him is glorious to me.
I just realized something.
You're missing one of her best lines, though.
I was hoping you would.
How disgusting is this franchise? Because it's all family connected. All of it.
Well, yeah.
The fourth one has a family connection. The sixth one has a family connection to the killer in 5.
4, 5,
And then Billy
3,
Loomis is the
always.
connect. Like, so there's family ties in all of this.
Tagline about Scream, it's always somebody you know.
It's
Exactly.
But why family? Just keep it simple.
Because I think...
Because that's how sick and twisted is that? What are you talking
Exactly.
about?
It's like... It's not just random strangers. It's people that you're supposed to love and care about, and you're just like, oh, they're just cattle one day.
I think it would be scarier if it was a random stranger because it's like, hello, what the fuck?
It would be more believable too. I don't think.
Well, like for example, Michael Myers in Halloween, complete stranger to Laurie Strode and all of her friends, crazed lunatic.
Now that we're talking about this, I might have to say Mickey's gonna go up in my ranks.
I love Mickey.
Mickey just did it because he was crazy.
Or above Roman.
Okay, and honestly,
Roman's dead last.
like, it goes to Mickey's at the same level of Billy and Stu, in my opinion, because if they, at the end of the day, if Billy and Stu were conversed or they like basically made to do this, Mickey was basically played the same way they were. So it kind of it works, you know, like the within the original trilogy, the structure works. The way they ended it, it works within the structure, though it's not the best way they could have ended
I swear,
the
if this
trilogy.
next one is about family too, Scream 7, family killers.
I'm worried about 7. I honestly you both know, Scream is my thing. One of my first horror movies. It's close to my heart. Having said that, do I want a 7? No. Do I know we're going to get a 7? Yes, because this last one made more money than any of them. So 7's basically a guarantee.
I don't really want a 7 either, but I've never gotten a chance to see a Scream movie in the theater.
You never saw 5 or 6 in the theater? I saw 4, 5, and 6 in the theater.
I saw 4, 5, 6.
6 I went to go see in the theater. I got to the theater and I had to leave because of an emergency.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I have never seen any Scream movie in the theater.
You need to go to the fan event next time, mister.
The only thing I've seen Scream 1 play at the local drive-in. That's it.
Oh, that's cool though.
That's good.
I'm still jelly that you have a drive-in. I've always wanted to be one, and I've never had the opportunity.
Indiana has like 4 drive-ins. It's
Can we plan a horror drive-in while I'm there?
Yeah. I mean, Tibbs has like 6 screens going with like dual movies.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, I've never been.
I've heard about
I will
that.
take my Jeep. We can sit on my Jeep. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Anyways,
Yes.
where were we before I did that freak out?
No,
Roman's little bitch fit.
Mhm.
Where
He had a little bitch fit,
Sydney
and
said-
then
where Sydney says, "God, why don't you stop your whining and get on with it? I've heard this shit before."
yep, she's just done, tired, and over it. She's just like, get this over with. I'm done with it. You whiny little son of a.
tired. And
She-
he's like, I don't want to. She's like, do you know why you kill people, Roman? Do you? It's because
don't wanna
you
hear it.
do. There is no one else to blame. And he's like coming back at her with like, stop.
Mhm.
And they
It just
they
shows
have
it's
that
crazy.
They have that little sibling moment where he's like, "Fuck you," and she comes
Mhm.
back with it, and they collide, and it's an epic. They have
No,
that
it's
epic
fun.
struggle.
Yes. I love that little mini battle between the two. And like when finally it's all said and done and
He
she
gets
takes
a hold of that ice pick, and I was waiting for it. I said, "Ooh, she's gonna do some damage with that."
Mm,
And if you really pay attention to the scene, she comes up, she calls his cell phone.
okay.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Right, his phone
Yes,
rings.
I freaking love it. She turns into Ghostface.
He calls his phone, and then instead of him, like, before he even says hello, she jumps up from behind the bar, stabs him once in the back, and then once again, like, up here by the neck, and then pushes him, jumps over the bar, and they have, like, a little moment there, and she goes, stab 3, right? and she stabs him right in the chest, and it's so.
Yeah.
And and it's like she didn't stab him that third time until she said anything, and he's like, "What did he say? At least I got to make my movie." And yeah,
and that
three,
handhold, because
that I will say when he goes to reach for her hand and she grabs his hand back, it's a powerful moment.
Yeah, I mean, it goes to show that even though there's like obviously it goes to show Sydney as a person and how good of a person she is to literally hold his hand, because she, in that moment, it just, to me, it's like she realizes he's been alone his whole life. He's been through a lot of messed up shit. He can at least, in his death, even if he's done this to me, get a hand to hold in death.
Okay, you killed 7 people. That justifies a handhold. I love you.
No, it's not.
I know you're lonely. And the only way that you feel unloved is killing your cast, which feels like a family for a movie project.
No, it's because you got to realize Sydney was pissed at her mother too. Sydney was equally as pissed as her mother as Roman was.
You're right. So she should justifiably go out and murder 6 or 7 people to get answers.
Yeah, exactly. You don't go out and murder 6 and 7 people, but she gets the point why he's pissed off. She gets that, and I think that moment is kind of like not just for him, but it's also for her as a conclusion to the franchise as a trilogy before it was a franchise, you know? It was trying to give that epic ending moment because this was originally supposed to be the ending of the story, you know? So it was a very heartfelt moment, and they went for it. I bought it, you know? We go into Gale, and do we finally break in like in typical horror movie fashion once everything's over? They get in, and then Kincaid is alive. They're all back at Sydney's house, so we're good to go into this, right?
Yep.
And he gives her. Dewey gives Gale that book, and he tells her to open it, and there's an engagement ring in there.
Oh, Billy with that face, turn around.
I think it's a cute moment.
I think watching this scene, even though there's a lot of things that I have issues with, I'm just happy it's done and over with. And well, the thing is like the Kincaid popping up out of nowhere. You're like, oh, okay, they're now fucking. I would never have gotten that from the dialogue they had together. On top of that, when the door blows open at the end, I'm like, meh. No, dude, conserve your air and energy. Shut the damn door.
Oh my god.
I guess they're just trying to show you in that moment that it's like, if that was going to be the true end to Scream, that was a good one, because it shows you that she's not afraid anymore, and she's going to do what she's going to do.
Know what would have been better? She has codes of everything she does. It would be cool if she shut the door, goes to do the code, and then she's like, "You know what? I don't need it," and walk away. Because 1, that's smarter. 2, you're conserving energy. It's like, come on, be better at your job, writers. Also,
I will say that I will agree with that, but I do like the scene just the same.
I agree. I think it's the same.
Door open is a great ending. I love it. It leaves the door open for a sequel. So,
I guess I'm sad, but you guys are ecstatic that this episode is over.
Well, you know what? Did we have like a significantly better time this time?
Oh yes. That guys, gals, non-binary pals. Last time was it's our lost episode, the one episode night of movie of Bill and Lil that you will never see. Consider it a lost episode.
I don't think there's a chance they'll see it.
Oh really?
Billy's got some clips that he's gonna splice into this.
I'm not gonna splice any of the clips. No, I'm gonna let this be an episode, and once let's set a goal. Once we get over 200 followers on YouTube, I'll post the lost episode.
Okay.
I feel like
if
that's
you
an
want
achievable
to,
goal.
I mean, that's fine.
We all look like asses, especially me. But but this is a 3.5 hour long episode. I think they might.
Yeah, we ran really long. Is it how this episode is 3.5 hours?
This episode is about 2 hours.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Well, we cut it down by an hour.
Hour and a half.
That's 2 sittings right there, or a couple sittings.
And if you edit all your banter out within the last 30 minutes.
Oh no, that banter's staying in. Especially your guys' faces.
Please, it makes sense.
I can't wait to see your guys' faces when I did the shirt rip.
Oh, that, you have to keep that. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, yes. I'm salty that you got rid of Dewey, because that was classic. That was a perfect outfit.
I wasn't even going to do Dewey today. I sent you a message earlier today saying I'm going to prank Rob. And then
you did.
And then I was like, oh, fuck it. I'll just do a Dewey outfit. I was going to save it for a different episode, but I'll do it here. Because he is a doofus in this movie.
You knew he was going to do this thing with the shirt?
No, I knew he was going to pull a prank on you. I didn't know what
I texted her on break, and she never responded back.
As I said, I fell asleep right before this episode.
No, like when we took the break where Rob's like...
Okay, in my defense, Billy said 10 o'clock. I woke up at 9 o'clock.
We're not even talking
alarm.
about that. We took a break in the mid-podcast when I did the shirt changes.
No, I'm talking about when we were planning this episode earlier. You said probably 10 o'clock. So I set an alarm for 9 just in case I fell asleep.
I thought I said 9-ish.
No, you said 10 to me, boy.
Boo boy? I'm a boo boy.
I almost said boo, I changed it to boy.
Boo boy.
Boo boy. No, but I don't care. It's
We're going to the game, Rob. I know you're excited.
I am excited because I got different movies this time.
All right, Rob, explain the game.
All right, I'm going to shout out 5. Actually, you know what? Can we make it 6 this time? Because I hate uneven numbers.
Ooh. Yeah, we can make it 6.
Okay, we're going to do
just
6.
because we love you so much, Rob, we will allow you to do 6.
So I'm gonna shout out 6 movie titles and blindly, and Bill and Lil are going to rank them in a 1 to 6 rating. And the thing is that they don't know the theme of the movies, and they don't know what movie is coming next.
And we can't change our slots.
And you cannot change your slots, so you could get screwed. So are we ready?
Ready.
I think so.
Okay. The first film, the original, A Slumber Party Massacre.
3.
I'm going to go with 3 as well. I was leaning towards 2, but I'm going 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're going 3? Okay. Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives.
6.
1.
Really?
I love Jason Lives.
I know, me too, so much. Okay. Bladder University.
5.
You 5, Billy?
Yep.
I agree. Oh, Billy, I don't think we've ever agreed this much before.
Okay, can anybody guess the theme so far?
Camp horror? Or teenage slashers?
80s slashers? 80s slashers?
Well, it's just, since you said the word, it's just slasher movies.
Oh,
Okay, gotcha.
Bladder University, Jason Lives, Slumber Party Massacre. Okay. My Bloody Valentine, the original.
I was about to say, original remake. Okay. I think I'm going to put that one, because I still have 4, 2,
You
and
have
1.
You have 2, 3, and 4.
2, 3, and 4. What did I put?
I put in your 4.
I put Slaughter Party Massacre at 3, didn't I?
I thought you said 1.
I said 3.
I swear she said 3. We both agreed 3.
Rob, what are you doing to me?
So My Bloody Valentine, where do you want it?
I want it. If I still have 3 if I still have 4 open, let's do that at 4.
I'm doing 4 too. Look at you. So you should have 1 and 2 open. I should have 2 and 6 open.
Mm-hmm.
You have 2 and 6. She has 1 and 2.
Yes.
The House on Sorority Row.
The original, or is the 2006
the
one?
original, the original House on Sorority Row.
I don't think I've seen that, so I'm gonna probably put that one at 6.
Okay.
I really do like that one. And controversial opinion, I like the remake with Jennifer Tilly too, even though it's not like anywhere compared to the original. 2. I'm afraid to put that at 1.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh God, what's my number 1 and what's his number 6?
Halloween, 1978.
Oh.
Yes, baby, let's go. Jamie Lee at her best. I'll take it. Thank you, Rob. I think, you know what? That was a great list, Rob, because you got me and Billy to agree more than we ever have on this podcast.
And you guys know I love the slasher movies. So, and today was really rainy here in Florida, so that's all I did today was watch. I literally watched like pieces of all of these movies because I've seen them so many times. But it was like I want to just get that slasher movie vibe in.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
so I watched like an hour of Halloween, like an hour.
Well, you had your slasher movie Saturday. It's your thing, you know.
And I did watch The Midnight Meat Train.
That is a great one, and Billy's never seen it.
It seriously sounds like a Cinemax 3 a.m. softcore stuff.
It's not anything huge budget, but it's really a worth it one. It has a decent tone to it and some good gore if you watch the unrated.
Bradley Cooper's
Best
best role.
He does really good. He does really good in that film. It's 110% worth it, I think. But I will say watch the unrated instead of the cut version.
Yes.
But yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are we?
I'm so excited.
Are we ready to sign off, ladies and gentlemen?
I think it is time.
No.
But I'm proud to announce Rob's coming back for Scream 4.
Is it?
Fun fact, it's mine and Rob's last place in the Scream rankings.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Is it?
It is.
Yeah, because I do 1, 6, 5, 2, 3, 4.
All right, I'm going back to my original list and sticking to it. Everything's in order except 5 and 6. 5's at the end. 6 goes before it.
I think so. Next week we talked about how I thought this was forgettable. Next, I'd much rather have something forgettable rather than something I hate. So tune in next time to see why I hate that film.
Bye, guys, gals, non-binary pals. Thank you so much, Rob, for joining us as always. It's always an honor. You know I love you, boo. Oh my gosh.
I am always happy to be here. Thank you, Billy.
Yes.
Thank you, Lilith. Thank you, horror friends and
Oh,
fanatics.
and don't forget to tune in to our 13 Ghosts episode where I turn this new wig into the dead princess.
I'm so excited for that one.
I had to wear this before I ruin it because I have to ruin it for the dead princess.
That episode is going to feature a very good friend of ours.
Yes, it is.
I guess you're gonna have to tune in to figure out who that is.
The only hint is the jackal.
All right.